Hello again from my front porch. Well, obviously, you can tell I'm not sitting on my front porch. I'm on the back deck, which looks a little different than last time we were out here then, too. It's all green and flowery and tree full of leaves. And obviously, it's not that day because now we are what I fondly like to refer to as the winter tundra here in Iowa. I saw a meme that really embodied things really well. It said, "Winter has finally arrived. All of it at once on the same day." And that is kind of the way that it felt. It hasn't been all in the same day, but we did have a snowstorm that moved through at the beginning of the week, Tuesday, and that screwed up a lot of stuff, including my own plans, because right now I should have been able to be doing this show from Fort Lauderdale. That's where I was trying to get to on Tuesday for an all-day meeting with my new leader down in Fort Lauderdale on Wednesday, and then I was supposed to be coming back here today on Thursday. None of that happened the way it was supposed to, because on Tuesday we had the big massive storms that moved through here. It was the same storms that affected over 40 states in the United States at the same time, and I was trying to fly from here through Atlanta to get to Fort Lauderdale. But here we were having these major snowstorms. In Atlanta, they were having thunderstorms and lightning and high winds. And in Florida, they were having coastal flood warnings and tornadoes. It was just chaos weather-wise. But here in Iowa, we got a substantial dumping. Initially, they were, as the weather people always do, they were hedging as far as how much, snow you'd get for this, for that, for anything else. And what it turned out to be was close to a foot of snow. Depending on where you are in the state, more than a foot, some places less. But here in the Des Moines area, as you can see, it got a healthy little dose. Lisa measured it after that day, and she said it was a little over 8 inches. But then, not to be outdone, Mother Nature dumped another couple, 2 or 3 inches on us last night. So that's continued to pile up. And there, as the saying goes, but wait, there's more. There's still more predicted tonight. Could be another duplication of what we saw Tuesday, where in terms of accumulation numbers, 8 to 10 to 12 inches. Oh, man. So winter did not arrive all at once in one day, but it has been within 1 week. And we had not had hardly any snow whatsoever, little dustings here and there up to this point, and then all of a sudden, whoosh. Now, I know there are some people who are really thrilled about it, because for whatever insane reason, there are people who actually like snow. And I will admit, it is cool to look at. It's pretty. And I've often said, I don't mind snow as long as I'm in the house looking at it through the window while sipping a hot chocolate. It's when I have to come out and interact with it that I'm not as big a fan. So I'm out here now trying to help illustrate just how much snow there was, how much difference there was. Because if I'd just sat on the front porch and talked about it, well, that wouldn't have been anywhere near as exciting. This is so much better. It's also so much colder. But I am pleased, even though my plans got completely scuttled and a lot of other people's plans got messed up. Still, it worked out. I mean, in my case, my flight that I was supposed to have been on at 11 a.m. in the morning on Tuesday kept getting delayed, and finally, it was that flight was taking off late in the day, 4:30 in the afternoon, and we got on the plane and we took a nice little driving tour of the tarmac before the pilot announced that they were having troubles with the display, and so they were going to have to come back to have maintenance look at it. When they pulled up to the gate, they announced that they were just deplaning all of us, which is never a good sign. That means it's more serious than just a little, tighten a screw somewhere. And so we all got off the plane. Well, then they wound up just scuttling that flight altogether, and they started rebooking us to another flight later that was going to be leaving around 7:30 going to Atlanta. Now, at that point, I would have not been able to make my connection, because they have connections, multiple ones out of Atlanta into Fort Lauderdale. But I kept pushing those back too, as my flights here were being pushed back. And there was last one out of there. It was going to be really tight, like 20 minutes maybe if these were on time. If there was any delay whatsoever, that wouldn't have worked. But I was willing to do that because I thought, well, worst case scenario, I get stuck in Atlanta overnight, where I can, have more options to get to Fort Lauderdale, and I can still try to get there at a reasonably decent time in the morning. But then while I'm standing in line to confirm the rebooking on this later flight, my app goes off, and Delta had automatically just put me onto a flight that was leaving at 6 a.m. from Des Moines on Wednesday, which then is not going to work, because then I still have to connect through Atlanta and connect to Fort Lauderdale, and at that point half the day is gone. And so my leader and I, we were messaging, and between the two of us, we decided that we would just do it virtual. And we did it yesterday, and we did most of the day in a virtual meeting, which was kind of painful. That's a long time to be on the computer on a virtual meeting, but it was important work, and we got good stuff done. It wasn't as good a meeting as if we'd have been in person, obviously, but it is impactful. As I said, it's a new leader. We're doing some changes at work and some reshuffling of how things are divided. And so now I'm reporting to a different person, and it's got to build that relationship. Got to establish things with this new leader. So it was very worthwhile use of time, but I really would have preferred a more personal conversation, more opportunity to really gauge personalities and balance that. But that will happen. There'll be other opportunity for that. Turned out that 6 a.m. flight that they tried to put me on, it actually was the next flight. They wound up that 7 o'clock something flight on Tuesday that they were pushing everybody to. They wound up deciding, no, we're not even sending that one back. And it wasn't just issues in Des Moines. It was still issues in Atlanta, where the plane had to go. So that turned out to be a disastrous day. And so now here I am at home, and that's worst places to be, I suppose. Now, I am crossing my fingers tightly that next week I'm supposed to go to Baton Rouge for several days, working on some project stuff there. And we're supposed to get this other big dumping of snow now tonight into tomorrow, into Friday. And I'm crossing my fingers tightly that storm doesn't mess up, what I need to do next week. I'm also hoping that storm doesn't mess up the anthem opportunities that have now come up for me. This Saturday night, I've been asked to come and sing National Anthem again at the rodeo at Wells Fargo Arena. So I'm looking forward to that. I always love that. Incredible, strong, patriotic crowd. That's really just it's an energy thrill to be able to sing the National Anthem for that particular group. So I'm hopeful that this storm coming in doesn't cause problems for that event or for people traveling to and from that event. And then also now I've been asked to sing National Anthem for the Iowa Wolves game on Monday the 15th, which, because it's a holiday, Martin Luther King Day, this game is actually a daytime game. It's at noon in the middle of the day. And so that'll be interesting too, to do that. By the way, January 15th is also my son Alex's birthday, just so you know. So I'm looking forward to those opportunities this weekend as well. And I look forward to hopefully avoiding any other issues with snow. There have been lots of them, lots of accidents, lots of injuries, lots of damage from people, especially cars and trucks and things, semis having pileups and all kinds of bad stuff. So I'm hopeful that Mother Nature decided to bring winter all at once, at one time, in 1 week, and that's it. we can stop now. All of you sick, weird people that wanted snow, here it is. You got your wish. Now, let's get back to the sunshine. All right. And speaking of sunshine, it's not sunny in the house, but it is definitely warmer here. So I'm going to go back in the house. And with that, I'll see y'all next time from my front porch.